I'm again talking on something which is very passionate to me, which is old cars. Now, why would I want to talk about an old car? Well, because an old car is more than just an old car for me. An old car represents a lot of things to me. It represents freedom, it represents style, it represents a home outside of home. It's a home with four wheels where you can go anywhere you want in the comfort, in the air conditioning, in the heating, just like in a house. So now that I wanted to talk about older cars, I did a search on Google. Romance on old cars. Guess what? Nothing pulled up. Nothing of interest. But if you put in, Jenny McCarthy, you're going to get 3 bazillion friggin' hits. And she's not even no longer hot stuff anymore. You put in Pamela Anderson, you're going to get 17 million hits. But that's the sorry state of affairs everywhere, that nobody's really passionate about anything. People are just hooked onto their iPhones, and they're just whiling away time with like some guppy bird or some stinking sock or something, some weird ass game which comes out pretty much every day. And people just get hooked. Like, are you a fish? Why do you get hooked? But I shouldn't be saying that, because I'm one of them. I'm pretty much, addicted to my phone. Well, I see my phone as a source of gaining knowledge. So, yeah, that's an excuse. But majority of the time, I'm really not doing anything destructive with my phone. I'm not on Tinder, or I'm married. Come on, I can't do that shit anymore. But I just don't do anything crazy on the phone. I just go to Google Maps, see which street is here and there and stuff like that. So anyway, that's off topic. I'm gonna go back to the topic at hand, which is an automobile, a car. Like I said, an automobile represents to me a home outside of a home. It takes me everywhere in style, and that's why I bought a really old car when I came here. I bought a really old Buick Park Avenue, and I was in love with her. I named her Matilda. Matilda was a gorgeous car. She had blue leather seats. She had burl wood everywhere. And once you shut those doors on that Matilda, you couldn't hear anything. And I'm saying, 40-mile-an-hour wind, you're not going to hear anything. Now, you do that in a car which was made in the last 10 years, you'll feel that you're going to fly away with that wind. Because the cars right now or nowadays are so cheaply made. There are certain parts which come from Mexico, certain parts come from Canada, certain parts come from Japan, some parts are made here and it's assembled somewhere here or across, north of the border. But one thing is constant, that they're cheaply made, and there's no pride in these cars. I mean, these cars are just wafer thin washing machine kind of boxes which have no personality, and I just can't stand these cars. They may be reliable, but they don't do anything for me. I'd rather have a car break down on me once in a while, is temperamental, then I have to tinker with it. I can't tinker with any of these cars. You need to be a nuclear physicist to even open the friggin' trunk. Open the hood. You just, the other day I had a check engine light come on. I go to this guy called Sids, and he's supposed to be one of the guys who's been here forever, and he's got a 25-year history. And this was on my wife's Honda. And I took it down there, and he plugged in that damn computer, and he ran all the checks. and he couldn't figure out what was wrong with the car. He's like, oh yeah, the computer is sending a malfunction code. It could be anything. Oh, would you be kind enough to leave your car here overnight? It's going to be $200 for the diagnostic fee. I'm like, are you kidding me? $200? And that's what it was. It was a computer glitch. So now we have computers in cars. They control everything. They can control the amount of fuel which is going in. They control if you're skidding on the road, if you're losing your balance, if you're losing control. They've taken the fun out of everything. They've taken the fun out of driving. So it's no longer, you are not driving the car. Don't be under the impression that you are driving the car. You are not driving the car. A computer is driving you, and the computer is driving the car. So I feel so sad. Unfortunately, I don't have Matilda anymore. I was going through a little cash crunch, and I got a big bill. I had a transmission problem. It was expected. The car was about 20 plus years old, and the last owner hadn't taken care of her as much I would have liked him to do so. So when I got the car, I spent quite a lot of money on it to get it working. But when this big expense came in, I was in no financial position to do anything, spending that kind of money on it. So unfortunately, I had to get rid of her. But, I remember those times late in the night when I had a little, a little bit of a fight with my wife, and I would just rant and rave and just leave the house. I'll be back after a few hours when you cool down. And I would sit in Matilda and I would go for a drive. A long, wonderful, beautiful drive. And it would just be me and Matilda. I almost felt like I was cheating on my wife, but I was not. Okay, just let's get that straight. Okay, I'm a real, genuine, straight shooter kind of guy. I don't do things like that. So don't be doing anything but laughing. Okay, this is just a joke. If she hears about it, she's gonna freaking kill me. But anyways, we used to go on long drives, and I would drive through, grab a hamburger, get some French fries. Then I would just drive some more, and I loved it. I loved Matilda. You could not feel anything, nothing, no engine noise, nothing. And when I drive my wife's car, I feel I'm in a friggin' bread box. It's no fun. There's no connect. There is no passion. There is nothing. It's like one of those Radio Shack carts. Yeah, it's like nothing. It's like a cart, like a Walmart cart with 4 wheels on it, just bigger wheels, nothing else. It really does disgust me that cars are no longer, that integral part of a person's personality. When you look at the person, you could, back in the day, you could say, hey, that guy's a Cadillac guy. Oh, he's a Chevy guy. Oh, he's a Ford guy. Now you just can't say that anymore. People and cars are not connected the way they used to be, Like, as far a motorcycle is concerned, yeah, a Harley guy looks very different. And yeah, you can't say that because those guys are still passionate, and the manufacturer is also very passionate about the same way, or they have manufactured them the same way they used to make them 50 years ago. There has not been a tremendous amount of intrusion in terms of putting plasticky parts and computers in their bikes. So I have to give them a round of applause for that. But you can't say that for the cars. You look at Chevy, you look at Ford, you look at, of course, Honda and Toyota have always been, they started off as being economy cars, so you can't take anything away from them. But if you look at Chevy and Ford, the biggest ones, Chrysler for that matter, Chrysler still, some of their cars, some of their trucks, they have a lot of personality. Like if you looked back in the day, not back in the day, but say about 7 or 8 years ago, 10 years ago, they came out with the PT Cruiser. I liked it. It was cool. It was cool looking. It reminded me of, Woody, the wagon called Woody back from the 50s. I'm not very familiar from it because I'm originally from India, so I think that was a nickname given to that car. So they've always come up. Then they came up with the 300C, which is also gangster looking, nice Bentley look-alike. A lot of personality. But you look at Chevy and you look at Ford. There's nothing really mouth-watering or nothing really that I can say, wow, their trucks are the same. Everything is the same. Well, in my next topic, or in the next podcast, I'm going to go a little bit in depth as far as these automobiles are concerned. I'm going to refresh my memory and talk about certain models, iconic models, which we all grew up with, and how the companies, the same companies, have destroyed them. So that's going to be the next podcast. I'll be better prepared, and I'll see you the next time. Take care. Bye-bye.